Hello, thank you so much for joining Truth Tectonics channel. Today I want to talk about a conversation I had with friends of mine back in the day. So let's start with the first one. She was telling me about a relationship she had with a man which was fictitious, it was burdensome, she was just going through the motions. He endured her, she was trying to get him to love her. Just back and forth, just a thing of a living nightmare, more or less. And then she told me she got pregnant. And I asked her, okay, you got pregnant, so what happened? She now said that she gave birth to the child or kept the baby, hoping that that will get the man or make the man love her. And I was astounded. I was like, hold on. He clearly showed he was enduring you. He didn't love you. Now, let's be factual. Men will say anything to get laid. A man will tell a woman, look, I want to marry you, I want to be in a relationship. And women deep down know, most of the time, I think, when a man is lying just to get laid. But she can sometimes delude herself and say, okay, maybe he's telling the truth, or maybe I can change him to actually like me or love me, or maybe I can make this work. But men will say anything to get laid. Yeah. But when he starts acting out and clearly shows you are not happy, maybe he's violent, he's physically violent, he's verbally violent, you're walking on eggshells, you're trepidatious, you are not happy when you're going home, but yet you convince yourself that maybe your love will win him over. And then in the midst of all that chaos, you decide to bring a child. Now, the first friend of mine told me, and I was flabbergasted, to say the least. I had another conversation with another friend of mine who told me a similar story. At the time she told me her child then was 14 years old. Similar story, she met a guy, she liked the guy didn't really care for her. And then she told me that, oh, I got pregnant for him thinking that would get him to love me. Second friend, oh, second lady. I clearly remember both conversations. Now I think there's the probability of a third, but I can't recall that one. But let's just work with those two. Ladies, getting pregnant for a man who passively or actively shows his disdain for you is not a good idea. Imagine, okay, now if you're a lady that is trying or thinking of getting pregnant, if you're in such a situation, you're with a guy who is just mean to you, and you're thinking, okay, if I get pregnant, maybe he will like me or love me. If you're such a lady, let's, you know, um, play a mind game or go on a mind journey. So imagine you want to go on a road trip or travel somewhere, and this friend or this person that you know who always gets on your nerves now say, "Oh, she wants to come with you," and you're like, you endure this person, and the person knows, both of you don't really get along, but the person says, "All right, you know what? Let me come with you," and you grit your teeth and say, "Fine." And then at the airport, on the day of departure, this person that you endure brings a third person you have no clue who this person is, a complete stranger, and says this person will be joining you on the trip. How do you feel? Or this friend that you endure brings a kid, maybe a 2 year old or a 3 year old or a 5 year old, and says the kid is coming along on the journey. How do you feel? Now, even if this person is someone you get along with very, very well, let's say good friend, you like hanging out together, and the person just shows up when you're about to travel on a trip both of you planned, just the two of you, and the person brings in a third party. How do you feel? Now, the good book says two cannot walk together unless they agree. If you're a lady and you're thinking of trying to get pregnant for a man in the hopes that he will soften his heart towards you, please consider. Don't use a child as a sacrificial peace offering. Don't burden that child with that load. Don't do that. Because the child will now come into the world and be wondering, why does my dad hate me? Why does my dad hate my guts? I mean, on rare occasions, yes, it can work. It may work that, okay, the dad will soften his heart towards the lady and more or less just go along with the family. That can happen, yes, fine and good. But the probability of that happening is slim. Don't put that burden on the child. A child needs to be brought into an agreement, into harmony, into peace. Don't let the father of the child resent the child because he's saying that you tied him down with this child. And that's what so many men, obviously, experience. And I keep seeing this ladies trying to tie down a man with a child. Please do not do that. I know it's difficult sometimes, women think, oh, this is the love of my life. I don't want to be single. He will definitely change. My love is strong enough. I think sometimes you just need to sit down, have a chat with the person. What are we doing? What do you want to do? Do we have a future together? Do you want me around? Do you want to have a family? Are we a thing? Are we an item? What is going on? Have that chat. Don't bring a baby as an umpire, as a referee, as a peacemaker. Please don't do that. It will hardly ever work out in your favor. Hardly. Yes, and those two friends I told you about, single. 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 So please really consider any time you are in such a situation, there needs to be peace, harmony, togetherness, unity, agreement before you bring a baby into a union. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Cheers. Bye.